What's up, everybody? Welcome to the After Party Video Podcast. I got some, these guys, you're familiar with these guys, but this guy over here, he's been on maybe once or twice. Once. So we're going to, this is some OGs, been with me from the beginning. Not the beginning. I've been with y'all since the beginning.
I know you BC.
I'm BC, before Christ.
Yeah,
it's still before Christ for some.
My name is Brody, for those of you who's wondering.
Oh, go ahead, introduce yourself. Do it again.
My name is Brody.
Yeah.
I love you guys so much.
Yeah.
What?
All right, introduce us to
We don't do that on this podcast, okay?
Oh,
know what kind of podcast you usually watch?
I swear.
So this is Brody, and we go ahead. Y'all just go around the table. Troy.
Yeah.
Rick.
Just Rick. I mean,
Sweaty hands.
So what's going on?
It's a joint effort, though.
How you doing?
Yep, there you go.
Oh man. Oh gosh.
How you doing, sir?
So what is on your birth certificate? What is the name on the birth certificate of Rick? Is it Richard?
What's the name on your birth certificate, Stephen? How do we spell that?
We're not getting into this.
How do we spell that?
You can't just ask that.
My gosh.
We have the dirt.
How do you spell your name on your birth certificate?
It's spelled wrong on the birth certificate.
How is that possible? Technically, it's not spelled
My
wrong.
mom had me at
you spell it
charity.
wrong.
So when you have someone at a free hospital, more than likely they're going to spell a name wrong. But you know what? Many people don't know this because they focus on my first name, but they actually spell my middle name wrong too. So I spell my first name Stefan. They spell it Stepfan. I pronounce it Stefan. They pronounce it Step-fan. My middle name is Micheal. Michael. You know how they spell it? Michael.
Michelle.
Wait.
No, it's supposed to be A-E-L.
Yeah, so I said it backwards. But so basically, I'm
Step-fan Michelle Lividays.
Yes.
Love that. Yeah. That's crazy.
I didn't find out until I went to go get a license. I'm 16 years old. That's actually correct. The hardest one they spelled correct. So that's
because
what
they
it
pay
is.
more attention to it.
So it costs like $300 to get my name fixed, and I'm just not.
I'll bless you with that one day.
Thank you. That would be nice. I would like.
Dude,
I would like to not.
We'd like the Jordans all over again.
Yeah.
I know.
He'll be there like.
My name is right. I'm not living a lie.
Yeah.
You know. So, or am I? I'm really not Stefan. So every time I introduce myself to someone, I'm lying.
From now on, when I speak about you at the church, I'm saying Pastor Step-fan.
No,
Michelle.
don't. So, man, we just want to do something a little different tonight. You know, these guys have been with me for a while. I've been their youth pastor before I was their pastor, and of course, above all of that, I'm their friend.
5 years.
5 years for you. How long for you?
Somewhere along those lines, yeah.
Somewhere.
A little bit more than 5.5, 6 years.
5.5, 6 years.
I was in eighth grade.
I remember you were shorter than me. Actually, all of y'all were.
No.
And look at you now.
Not you.
You've been surpassed.
I have been surpassed, which is good, right? Everybody wants to be surpassed as a teacher.
And height?
Yeah.
Come on. What about you? How long you was?
Probably 4. Because was I coming around 8th grade? I don't think so.
No, freshman year.
Yeah, I think freshman year is when I started.
That would be 5 years.
So 5 years.
We are a year out of high school.
I'm not gonna lie.
Wild.
It's
That's
been
crazy.
5 of the longest years with you gentlemen. No, I'm joking.
Yeah?
I just want to let all of the viewers know. Before they came, I had a head full of hair, and now I'm just, oh my goodness.
Says this joke way too much. He says it way too much.
But it's low-key true.
They have turned my forehead into a 5 head. Okay,
And your
There's
beard
a
gray.
little
Your
more
beard
than
is gray.
5.
my beard is gray.
Stefan,
So
you're bald. Not
Elderly
bald.
as well.
next subject on the line. Okay. So let's just go around 10 because y'all been around for a while, right? Y'all have witnessed a lot. I've walked through a lot with you guys. So I don't know. Somebody go ahead and just say, what is your funniest youth group story or memory?
Oh, shoot. Well, first, I do want to talk about this. You are the reason I know Jesus like I do. You are the reason.
Stop.
Literally. Because, like, I remember when I first knew you or met you, you would go to church every Sunday, always having Bible study with your parents, and you'd go to youth. And I went to a Lutheran preschool, so I knew Jesus was God. I didn't know him like I know him today. I didn't have respect for him. I didn't have conviction like I do. And so like you would always talk about church, and I'd be like, bro, like just don't go to church so we could play the game or something like that. Like, and I'd just be waiting for dude to come home so we can play the game or something like that. And then he would invite me to youth, and I'd be like, nah, I ain't trying to go to church. I ain't doing all that. But he just like consistently kept getting me to go. Come on, come to church, come to church, come to church. And for a long time, I was like, nah, I'm good. But eventually I went. And of course, like at first, like I would go, and I was like, this is kind of weird, you know? I hated worship. I'm gonna be real with you. Like it was the most aggravating thing ever. I was just standing there. I was bored. I was like, what are we doing? Like I was just, my back would be hurting. I'd be like, well, I just want to sit down, but I feel like if I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna be judged. So I'm just gonna stand here. And so like, and then like when I first started coming around, it wasn't every week. Like I'd come like maybe once a month, if that. But you kept on persistently pushing me to go. And through those years of my life, they were rough years. I was going through a lot. Because like I think about it and like how much the Lord has taken from me, how much he's healed me, how much he's changed the person I am, is because your love for him. And I feel like your love for me as a person, to know that's what I needed, saved my life. Because you were representing Christ in a way of bringing me to him, knowing that's what I needed. And you changed because of you. And that push and that obedience, whether you realized it or not, it changed my life and probably saved my life. Because in the moment, even when I first started going, there was no fruit. I was still like just going to hang out, going to have fun, whatever. But because you kept pushing me to get into the presence of God, he took that and he ran with it and he changed me and changed my life. He saved my life. And I'm forever grateful for that. Forever grateful for you doing that for me. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah, man. I mean, I guess, I never could have known that this is how it could have ended up. Like, I could have invited you to church and he could have started hating me. And I guess it's kind of a gift in that way. Like, I got to pester you about it and you still actually liked me and hung out with me, which not a lot of people get to do. Because, if you get, looking back on it now, it's kind of like, I know some other friends that I have, if they get pestered about church too much, they're like, they get turned off. They don't really want to hang out with you as much. And it's just, I think that shows a lot about your character. And I think that's a really great thing. I could have never known that this is what it would have turned into. And like we went through so much. And not only did it bring you to the Lord, but at times, like, it made our bond so much stronger that we were walking through together. Even though we went through some things, it was still, I wouldn't change a thing.
Me neither. Everything happens for a reason. I see it like that, but there's no like everything that's happened in the past, all the stupid stuff, dude. Like I'm forever grateful for you introducing me to Christ the way you did, before anybody else did, before I met Stephen, before I met Ricky, before anybody else was pushing me to know Jesus, you were in junior high.
Thank you, man.
Like it means a lot because I probably would not be alive if it wasn't for you doing that. It's crazy,
Man.
Crazy, huh?
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a good way to open up podcast.
Jeez.
Well, folks, it all goes downhill from here. So what was the? That was good. That was good. I'm glad to just know all of you guys, man. Like I know, like as a youth pastor, everybody's like, "Oh, you've done so much for me," but like you don't even realize just watching the growth over the years. There's no greater gift than to watch the fruit. You know, when you see the fruit, people bearing good fruit. You know. And just watch the way they handle things change. It's just like, man, it's beautiful. And I don't think man can take credit. I think it's the Lord, you know. because even with me speaking, it was always the Lord speaking through me. You know, you take away God, I'm not, you know,
all flesh.
yeah, I am. So, so let's just go around. Let's just talk about what's your funniest moment.
Oh man.
What they did was gave you enough time. I know there's a funny moment.
Oh, I know a couple that you probably want to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
The 3-piece.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I mean,
The what? At youth group.
Yeah. I used to
Did which, a 3-piece?
Yeah, 3-piece.
Stefan, I punched you
You
three
ate that
times.
3-piece, son.
Dude, that's what we call it?
Yeah,
the 3-piece.
That was a combo. Yeah.
So you mean to tell me the funniest moment you had in youth group is when I scared you and you
That
punched me
might
in
have
the
been the
face?
scariest
Oh my God,
moment I
bro,
had in
that's
youth
so
group because I actually thought that I wasn't going to be allowed to go back to that church.
I was considering.
I was genuinely like, I mean, I had this was my first time ever being there, maybe my second.
No.
Stefan, no. It was like the first week that I ever, like the first week or two that I had ever met you. I promise you. Like
No.
I didn't even know you. I didn't even know
We knew
you.
each other.
No.
You just punched strangers?
Yes.
Go ahead, tell your story.
So-
I just like the story.
So
It's not my favorite.
I'm not. I don't even want to elaborate. I feel like I've said this on a podcast before anyway. But like,
Well, I don't think
like
it's funny.
just like when I don't think it's funny.
Well, then why are you saying the funniest thing
That's
that
why
happened
it's-
to you?
How about this?
I
I'll
didn't.
say it.
They
It's
brought that
hilarious.
up.
Say.
I would say it's pretty funny.
This dude said 3-piece.
Personally.
I thought he was talking about like chicken from Popeyes.
No.
You know, he's talking about
No,
three.
we did get a lot of Popeyes though.
Go
Yeah,
ahead. So go
a
ahead.
lot of that.
So go ahead. Tell a story. So everybody knows what I've been through. I am a victim. Go ahead.
I mean, I just like he came around a corner and I wasn't safe, so I was
The lights
still,
were
you know,
off. Okay.
fighting people, and then Stefan came around the corner and the lights were off, and I just thought some random person. I just hit him
The
3
lights
times
were
in
off.
the face. I punched him 3 times in the face, and then I thought, okay, well now I'm never coming back to this church because they're gonna kick me
That
out.
story's
And
terrible.
I've
Well,
never like.
Let me explain the story. I'm the victim. All right. Of course, you sound like I jumped out with you on you with a taser and you was protected.
I didn't say
Self-defense. That's what he said. So we closed in the building. That's why the lights were off. We're
Yes,
just gonna
I know.
clarify that right now.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So we
Was this in the kids' room? Kitty room?
It was.
I closed
he
the
was in
lights
lobby,
off.
I was in the kids room.
yes. So I turned off the lights and he walked out the room and I did what any youth pastor would do. I said, "Rah," and I mean,
And I said,
my microphone. I mean, he hit me twice, and then he recognized it was me, and then I watched him in the slowest motion I have ever watched anyone in my life. Look, he goes boom, he hits me, I do this, he hits me again, I do this, and I watch him, and he makes eye contact, and he goes.
no. See, now he's lying in church because I did not.
He looked at me. We ain't in church. We in my garage. He looks at me, and I mean, I just, and he does this, and then in slow motion, I'm like, no, and he hit me again.
So after I did that immediately, I was like, I just like completely just like tried to beat up my pastor, and like. And like the things like going through my mind, I really still remember it to this day. I was like, I'm never coming back to this church. These people are never gonna talk to me again. They're probably gonna call the police. Like, cause like I just like I've never been to church and I didn't know what like the love of Christ was. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know, you know, I was raised in a more judgmental part of what I guess what you would call the faith. And even though obviously we're not supposed to judge one another, and so I was always told that like non-denominational churches were very heavily judgmental and not good, and they don't love the Lord. You know, just all the things, all the lies.
That night we was.
And I mean, I just remember like coming out, and I was just like fully prepared for Stefan to be like, "You can't come back to the church." Like, and I mean, like I now knowing you, I'd be like, "That's ridiculous. Like, why would anybody think that?" But I mean, I genuinely.
Because you punched me in my face 3 times.
I mean, I genuinely
Nah, I'm
like
joking.
thought that was gonna happen. I was like, you know, fully ready for that. But I guess that didn't happen.
That was fun.
I'm surprised Stefan took 3 Ricky punches and was standing. Like, Ricky hits hard, dog. Like,
Damn, I got a hard head.
Experienced.
yeah.
It comes with
I
experience.
punched you. I'm sorry. I
No,
didn't know.
I'm just saying, like, you know, since you were so, never mind, it wasn't funny. Since you
What?
get into so many fights, you know.
Oh yeah.
Since
I was aggressive.
quote unquote thugging.
So, and that's why I love. That's why I love to see the fruit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I'm being 100% serious. Whenever people's like eyes are closed and I'm laying hands on people, praying for them, I'm so cautious to put my hands on them. So,
Yeah, because I jumped the
dude,
last time, like
yeah,
a week ago.
A
you
week
put your
ago,
hands on me, and
I
was
mean, I was like very.
You jump from everything.
Yeah, I touched his head, and I thought the dude was gonna Steven Seagal me. I thought he was gonna my neck. I'm like, I'm trying to pray for you, dude. So what about you? What is a funny moment? No, mind. Next.
No.
What is your funniest moment?
I got 2. And
Make sure you're talking to Mike.
oh yeah. So the first time ever I can recall showing up to youth. Stefan
This is so bad.
Stefan is he spent. I'll let y'all know beforehand. He spent time planning this. He had set it all up, and he had his different. I forgot what the containers were. We're just gonna go with jugs for now. He had some Coke, some water looking
I
stuff.
don't remember.
And all I know is he started talking, and he actually had it was a very good message. But it's my favorite because he said, "We are, we're sinful people." He had a bottle of Coke, and we're sinful people. But then we go to church, and we give our lives to Jesus, and we get purified and stuff. And he pours the liquid into the Coke, and it turns clear. It's bleach, by the way. It's bleach.
Was it?
Yes, it was. And
Did you spill bleach all over the church?
No.
No.
So, it's getting good. He's ramping up, normal stuff. He's like, yeah, but here comes the bad news. Sometimes we go dabble back in sin, and he tries pouring more Coke into this jug that he just turned clear, and it's not turning back into Coke. And he's like, what? This is supposed to work.
Because the blood of Jesus is enough.
Yeah. And he just like his
I misunderstood the analogy.
yeah, it didn't work. It did not work. He failed.
It worked.
No, it did not
6
turn
years
back
later,
into
you
Coke.
remember.
It
worked
did not
too
turn
well.
back into Coke.
I know, but 6 years later, who's talking about it? It impacted you.
It
worked.
was comical.
Next.
Okay. We were playing basketball.
Oh, this ain't cool.
No. It's not even about you. And we were playing with Rory Gallardo. It was me, Hayden, Stefan, and Rory. And then I had the ball, and Rory was all pressed up on me. And for some reason, I don't even know how it happened.
You
just-
elbowed him in his face.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? Got me beat. I don't know how that happens.
Poor Rory.
And yeah, I felt really bad because I really I don't know what I really don't know what I was
It's one
doing.
of your funniest moments.
So
He was just like,
it was bad. It was bad.
it was really bad.
He elbowed him bad.
It was. I
So-
didn't mean to.
Jesus.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little concerned, and this is why. Your funniest story is punching me in the face. Your funniest story is me failing tremendously, and then you elbowing someone in the face.
Troy, what's your
Troy.
first story?
Dog.
Troy, please be super spiritual and give us a good, funny.
How funny and spiritual? How's that
Yeah,
supposed
the
to?
spiritual
Listen,
stuff should be in the
right,
morning
right.
series.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a little while. But
All right.
funniest, I feel like there was a new funny moment almost every week at youth. Like it was a good time for a little while.
A joke. Like,
And even when there was a lot of stupid stuff going on, it was still a good time. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. But something that just came to my mind was like, so Stefan, I don't know if he still is, but was really good at basketball. Like for a shorter male, this man would drive on us, dude would kill us in basketball.
I like this one.
It would be like 8v8, and this man would smoke us.
yeah.
Smoke. It would just need Stefan on the team. But as he got older,
All right, this ain't funny.
older in age, all of a sudden, bro, stopped coming in the back with us young guys no more. And he
That's
stopped
so
playing
real.
basketball with us. But every day at youth, when we were closing, he would walk back there and he would shoot one shot. One shot.
With hope.
For Hope. With Hope was there. And then he said, Hope, if I miss, I don't love you.
No, I said,
Yeah.
this is how much I love you.
No, you said
No,
it wasn't
you
that.
said if I miss, I don't love you. I remember this. And you said
Yep.
it all the time.
Every single day at youth. And he bricked it. Every single time.
it would actually be every week.
Every week, this man would brick it. I don't know if you ever made it. You might have made it once.
I love-
Poor Hope.
I
My
know,
goodness,
but she
Stefan.
stuck around.
But no, I love. There was a lot that would happen in youth, but I wouldn't change any of it. I had a great time. It changed my life, obviously.
Yeah.
It was a lot of seeds were planted in my life because of youth and all the things that happened in it. And I wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I want to say some of my funniest moments. Now that I think about it, it definitely wasn't the time that you choked me out at youth camp.
Okay,
Bro,
that was a case of
Jesus.
that was a
you
case of
can't-
harassment. All right, we were trying
Oh,
to
no,
sleep.
no. Okay, so listen to this. I think we were trying to prank you too.
No,
Yeah.
I was pranking y'all,
No, we were trying to prank you.
but I pranked y'all.
Yeah. So this man,
Oh.
Stefan, we're trying to prank him. And so it's a door. And then there's a little like space for some reason right here that's just
Closet.
nothing.
Oh, I have a good
Listen,
one. I have a good one.
I
after
don't
this.
listen. We walk out. And I go to back myself into this closet. Because we're gonna scare Stefan when he comes out the bathroom or something.
do
right?
remember
We knocked on your door, I think it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I back up and Stefan just grabs me. Bro, when I tell you I would have cracked myself. Dude, we all just jumped Stefan. Like we all grabbed that man.
Again,
He
Paul
scared-
on me.
Dude,
they
he
wanna-
scared the crap out of us.
And they
dude.
want to know why I don't play
Jesus,
basketball. It's
dude,
because
I
y'all
don't know.
physically abused me.
I probably cussed when you grabbed me. Like that. I really did, bro. You scared the hell out of me.
You know what that reminds me of?
Jesus.
I'm not gonna say his name out of respect, but there was this guy that we went to. He was in youth a lot, and he was dorming with us in his shoes. I've never
dude.
had
That-
the displeasure
that
of
first
smelling
youth camp
shoes. That
was great.
dude. Those
Fantastic.
Those things were,
Yeah, I mean,
we made him put
We had
them
to put them
outside.
bangs,
I
bangs
went-
outside.
I
dog.
went
It
and
was
threw 'em
so
outside.
nasty.
I made
so
everybody bring their
bad.
shoes outside.
No,
them boys, bro.
We personally
Lord.
Ethan had Axe.
I have the video, I think, still somewhere.
Yeah, he's like praying and spraying Zach's feet. They were so bad, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Sir.
Oh, bro, that youth camp was life changing, dog.
It really was.
Forever changed after that camp.
The long services where we had to sit on the floor and our backs were killing us, dude.
Dude, that was god awful.
Yeah.
I never ever want to experience something like that again.
Honestly,
terrible.
Oh,
I
my
would say
funniest
it's worse.
moments. Wait, what about my funniest moments?
Oh,
I
my
had a
bad.
funny moment when, I mean, it's really dogging me again, but I don't care.
That was
It's when we had the ugly Christmas sweater contest. And my boy over here to my right thought it would be great to
My
show
name's
up
Brody.
with a bunch of pictures of me on his sweater. And everyone cheered for him to be the one who won the ugly sweater contest. He won that year
I did.
with pictures of me. Put no effort into his sweater.
Bro, he's the only one who put effort into that
Yeah.
into his sweater.
He
What are
put
you talking
thought.
about?
He put thought.
Thought,
But-
not effort. I mean, I printed those up that day, that evening.
I love the next year because the next year I did one of you.
Yeah.
And it was a big snowman.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I
But
won.
You couldn't compete. Oh,
No, I didn't win.
yeah.
It wouldn't let me
Oh,
compete.
dude.
So, man, that's just
Been some good times, dude.
very good time.
Good
We're
time.
still having good times.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just, thank God, not getting choked out or punched in these times.
Well, that's because we haven't been to youth camp recently.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I probably won't be going back.
you're gonna have a youth group one day.
Oh yeah, we will. So man, let's talk about maybe a moment where God impacted you like spiritually, right? Like something that you just taken on to, something that just a moment where you got hit by the Holy Spirit.
and you.
So
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
So many. Like
Can it be like a product of youth? Because it was in big service, but it was a product of youth camp.
Yeah,
Yeah, youth
absolutely.
camp,
church is
services,
church.
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time specifically. This is, we got put on stage.
was after
at
you-
big
yeah,
service at
that
the
was
youth
dope.
camp.
That was
Yeah.
dope, dude.
And
I cried that
You
day.
can probably still find that video.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know. It was like that is the most vivid. Like I got words. I'm not a person like I usually have to dig when I'm getting a word. It's not very clear normally. I don't all I know, bro. That's the most vivid thought that has ever been put in my head from the Lord was right there, and it was about the flag when when
No white flags.
when you're putting up like when what is it the
I feel like I remember this.
all I know, bruh, when you like
When you own land.
no you putting up like you're in a battle, bro. You're gonna put up your own flag so people know you're still standing, like you're there and you're ready to fight. You're
Yeah.
ready to hold your ground. Yeah, that was like
That was an awesome Sunday.
I just remember, like, I don't know if this was after I spoke or before. I just remember looking over and Stephen just, I was like, oh God. Is he all right?
I was crying. I was just proud. It's just awesome to see people you've ministered to grow in the Lord. You know, like I don't think there's so much joy in it, you know, is to watch transformation, like I said earlier. What about you, Rick?
I mean, there's not like a singular moment that I can like say was like better than the other because there was so many. It's just like, I feel like youth was an interesting experience for me because I mean I started coming right before I turned 18, so a lot of it was I feel like like my senior year of high school I was just like, I mean I was a mess. I was wild. And then I went to college and I kind of disappeared for like a couple months. And then I was like, you know what, I really should go back because my life is not looking the way that I probably should. And God told me to go to college and become a teacher. And so I knew that what I was doing was what he wanted me to do. So I was like, well, obviously I need to involve him in this. Like, and I feel like that's kind of like a mindset that kind of changed what I was doing. And then there was a very drastic situation that happened at the beginning of my sophomore year of college that kind of like catalyzed like this.
That's a big word. Explain that word.
Just like charged. Like
yeah.
This like almost like this desperation that I, you know, the only entity, the only person that could fix the situation that I was watching over was God, and he quite literally needed. This person needed, you know, his surrounding brothers in Christ to intercede severely. And I just remember like the Lord telling me like, this is your chance to see me do something you've never seen me do before. And this is your chance to find me in a place you would never expect to find me. And like, just like since then, like, I remember like I would stand in this hospital room for hours and hours and hours and hours and just like spend time with the Lord because the person who was in the hospital, he was on a ventilator, couldn't, yeah, I see, couldn't,
Oh no.
couldn't talk or he wasn't awake.
Rip.
So
He got
There's
it.
someone
He did it.
So I just remember like just like this supercharge happened, and then that's when I started like really just like falling in love with the Lord, and like just like I went into this angelic state of just like nothing else mattered but getting to work and then getting back to the hospital room and getting into his presence. Like, and it was just like this schedule that I had for my life for months. And then like I remember like during that time, like the Lord really opened up a lot of opportunities for me to share those experiences with people like Troy and Brody and just different people in my life that I was able to kind of like pour that out and just like give like a daily testimony because he was always doing something, even if it had nothing to do with the situation at hand. And I was learning so much. And then after that, it was just like this like thing, like I could never forget. I could never forget what he did. And then like through that, I started to learn who he is. And then all of a sudden it stopped becoming about what he did and about who he is. And it just got that much more powerful. And so like when I think about like trying to find like a moment to highlight in youth, it's really hard for me to do because it was a season. It wasn't just a moment for me. It was a very like extensive time period.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I mean, we've had just a handful. We had good seasons.
Yeah.
You know, that
Definitely.
was a rough season for me. Because being a part of youth pastor of someone who's in a hospital,
Yeah.
I didn't get him to come share his testimony,
Yeah.
but it was hard. A lot of tears. I've cried a lot for a lot of people. You know, because my heart is to see y'all grow up to be amazing fathers, amazing husbands, amazing believers in Christ. You know, and I'm just excited to still be around because a lot of youth pastors like they'll move and go take a pastor job somewhere.
Yeah.
So never really. It's just the fact that I still get to like have y'all over and hang out, you know, And regardless of what church any of them go to or anything like that, they're still friends, you know. I mean, over anything, you know. So it's just cool to watch all. It's cool to just sit here, and that's why I call it the OGs, the original gangsters. You know. So anybody want to share anything else before we
Yeah. So I got a couple of instances that have been like sitting in my mind about that. So you posted my testimony, and for people who haven't watched it, one of my big things growing up was demonic activity, where I was seeing demons and spiritual things my whole childhood, and also I suffered heavily with depression and suicide as a kid, and I just remember I was just having experiences a lot. And so these first two, I can't tell you in the timeline of when they happened, because it's like I know what happened. It's just not clicking, you know? So I'm going to tell them in this order. This was, I think, one of the first days, or around the beginning when I was coming to youth, and you had us out in the back in the warehouse as like a group of guys in a circle. And I don't know what you were getting us to do. I don't know what was really going on. But I think what you were doing is you were getting us to all like confess something, open up about something of that manner.
No, admit. It was. I remember what you're talking about. It was admit something you were struggling with, like a sin that you had a problem with.
This was just guys back then.
Yeah. And so I remember going around the circle, and like it was like on its way to me, and I was just terrified because I wanted to open up about the demons and the suicide and all that stuff. But like as it's coming around, like fear is just trying to grab me and choke me out. And it's like, don't you say a word. Like people are going to look at you different. Like your parents are going to find out. Like, and it was like a whole bunch of stuff like coming against me, and it got to me. And I just like let it go, bro. And I was crying. I was scared to cry in front of people. Pride was trying to hold me back. And I was dumped, dude. And I was like, I felt like I had like a release in that moment. But this next part is aligned with that. I was going through demonic activity, struggling with the same depression and suicide. And I remember I was on the game with you. And I was telling you about it. I was telling you about the demonic stuff. And you told me like, bro, like that's not normal. That's not okay. You need to go talk to Stefan. And this was back when I wasn't really going to youth. And
side character Heather as well.
She was there?
No, but I thought you talked to her plenty of times about it.
I really barely talked to anybody about it at this moment. Like I think I just opened up to you about it. So I think this happened first. I'm not sure, but you were like, you need to go talk to Stefan about it. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was going to youth. I don't think I did it as soon as I went back, but I just remember being in youth, and we were in the front row. I don't remember what the message was about. I don't know what it was. But whatever happened, like I just got hit, dude. I started bawling, crying in that front row. I was just angry and mad and just crying. And I remember y'all came up and y'all were trying to like just talk to me or just mess with me like we always did, like just play with each other. And I was just not having it. And then you came over and you're like, bro, what's going on? And I just told you, like, Stefan, like I'm seeing these demonic things. I'm struggling with suicide and depression. Like I don't want to live anymore, blah, blah, blah. And y'all pulled me to the back in the prayer room, in the cry room. And y'all anointed me and y'all prayed over me. I think John was there. Heather was there. I don't know who else was in there.
I think that might be it.
And y'all were praying for me. And y'all were teaching me that with the name of Jesus that these things have to go and they have no power. And I was like, okay. Like at that point, like my mind was just like blown a little bit. And I remember going home that night. And so for me, like growing up as a kid, I would get up in the middle of the night and I would go use the bathroom, but I'd feel that evil on the other side of the door, and I would just curl up on the floor with the light on in my bathroom, fall asleep, and wake up in my room. Craziest thing ever. Multiple times this happened. And I remember I went home that night and I was taking a shower, and while I'm in the shower, I'm feeling the presence of evil, and I'm like I'm telling it to go and to get off, in Jesus' name, leave. And then I remember getting out of the shower, And I'm like about to open the door and I'm feeling it there, dude. And I just spoke to her. I was like, you can't hold me bound any longer. You
Oops.
can't, like, depression, like, use the spirit. Because, like, what I used to see, like, physical beings. Like, this, it wasn't just feelings. Like, I used to see walking, talking demons. And I would feel them. I would know they were there, whether I could see them or not, and I could feel it. And I told her, you can't do this to me anymore. You got to go. And I felt her leave. I opened the door, and since that night, never saw it again. Since that night, never struggled with suicide again. Ever. There's been times where depression has tried to fall on me, but I would just realize what it was, and I wouldn't allow myself to fall into it. I may have struggled, but I never suffered like I suffered before that night. Lord delivered me from suicide in that spirit. And my last one I want to talk about is that youth camp we were just talking about. 'Cause he changed my life in that camp. Because that camp in the beginning was hell. Everything was going wrong that could go wrong. People were getting hurt. People were getting into fights. Oh, dude, it was terrible. And I just remember it was that middle full day. We went up at the morning service. And that was whenever the guy and the woman were talking about, like, how the woman was preaching about how she had been used for sex and all that stuff as a young girl, and that she allowed that to, like, give her worth and how much it destroyed her and blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to say that it's not, I can't believe I said blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, it's serious.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And so, but they did an altar call, and they said, like, if you're a girl and you're suffering through the same thing. Now, this is all like young teenage girls, like youth kids. And they said, like, if this is something you're struggling or going through, I want you, like, they basically did like an altar call for the girls. And I tell you, like, 95% of the girls went up there, almost all of them. And I looked at that and I was mad, dude. I was angry with myself because, like, that was something I was wanting. Like, I was wanting that kind of stuff. I was wanting those, like, desires and lust for, you know, for girls at that point, and I didn't care. At this point, I didn't have conviction of, you know, if I have sex with a girl right now, whatever. Like, I don't care. I didn't have that conviction, but watching that, like, the Lord kind of instilled it in me. He was like, this is what you can do to people. This is what it will end up being. I was just so mad, and they allowed the men, not the men, the boys, to come up and pray for the girls. We just couldn't touch them, had to stay back. And I remember I was standing there, and I was looking at this girl. They were hugging, and one of them just looked up at me and the girl, and she said that her uncle was molesting her for the last 3 years. And she told me that, and I was like, bro, I can't just not pray for this girl. Like, so I started praying for her. And then the service ended. I just felt like the Lord was trying to show me something. And it was weird because it's not like I haven't had many experiences like this, if any. For some reason, I just knew that's what it was. And so I remember I went into their little commons area, foyer, whatever you want to call it. And I was just sitting there, and I was just like, I was just praying with my eyes closed, like, Lord, like, what are you trying to show me? Like, I don't get it. And what, like, I know there's something. What is it? And I'm hearing people start to leave. And I'm like, all right, I gotta get up and I gotta go. And I open my eyes. I'm looking around the room, and I can just, like, not audibly, but the Lord's like speaking to me. He's like, this place is familiar, huh? And I'm looking around. I'm like, yeah, it really is. And he's like, I showed you this place in a dream before. You in that exact seat. And I was just like, whoa, like, it blew my mind. I was just looking around. And I ran up and I told you, I was like, Stephen, like I've been here before in a dream, blah, blah, blah. And I forgot what you told me. And then, like, the rest of that day was hell, dog. It was terrible. Like, I was losing my mind. Did not want to be there. Ooh. Hated everything about it, dude. And then on the way there to that evening service, bro, I did not want to go. I was drained. I was done. I was about ready to just either go home or just stay in the cabin because I didn't want to be there anymore. I remember, like, something happened that just made me really mad. And, like, I went and I sat down, and you came up to me and you tried to talk to me about it, but I was just like hard-hearted in that moment. You said, bro, just go up and worship. And I remember going up. And this is so weird, right? So I went up, And I was just standing there, dude. And this is when like the worship team from our church came, and it was amazing, right? I was just standing there so hard-hearted, so mad. And I started praising God. Dude, it was the weirdest like experience ever. Like I've never felt something like that. And I started worshiping. And then he started setting me free. He changed my attitude. He changed the way I felt. Like he gave me my joy back. It was crazy. And on the way back to my seat, he told me, when that altar call happens, I want you up front and center. I'm like, okay. Sat on my seat. Boom. Fell asleep. Not a clue who spoke. Not a clue what the message was about. I slept as soon as I got in that chair until like a minute before the altar call. And I remember waking up, looking around. Okay, yeah. And they did the altar call, and I got up immediately, and I went right in the middle, and I was just there like worshiping God, my hand up. And I could just feel him like pushing me, like, Troy, reach for me. And so I just kept reaching higher and higher in the sky. He was like, Troy, like fully reach for me. I remember just putting both my hands up and just like physically like trying to reach for him. It's something that me and you had talked about earlier in that day. I was going through a lot. And I just didn't know what to do. And you just told me, Troy, just seek his face. This was years ago. You were telling me to just seek his face. I had no clue what that meant. I was like seek like the Lord's face, like what he looks like. Like I'll die. I can't do that. But in that moment, like I truly believe I was just seeking him and nothing else, just him. And that's what seeking his face is. Not seeking what he can do, not seeking an outcome, not seeking healing, not seeking something, just seeking him, wanting him. And that's what I was doing in that moment. I just remember Troy just reach, and I remember just reaching. And I just looked up and I opened my eyes. And for a split second, it was like a portal opened up. The heavens just opened up in front of me. And I saw angels. I saw the most pure white was across this dude, and clouds and angels like looking down at me, floating. And I just went boom. And you were there. You were right next to me. I remember turning to you and be like, bro, I just saw angels.
This dude grabbed me, like interrupted me, bro. He was shaking me. I was like, what is it? What are you on?
Dude, it was, I about lost it. Because, like, I was, like, the Lord met me in that moment. When nothing else mattered, just me seeking him. He showed me something like that. And from that moment, my whole life was changed. Completely. Did I still struggle with sin? Yeah. I have flesh. I'm a man. I'm going to struggle. But my whole way of looking at life and looking at God and Jesus from that moment on changed. And I remember, it might have been Cliff. He went up on, or it was one of them. He went up on the stage and he said, I think the Lord's going to mark people tonight. And he's marking you right now. And as soon as he said that, I felt like a super strong, like, felt just like a piercing in my heart. Really, it was like, it wasn't chest pain. It just felt like somebody took a needle and just like stabbed it into my heart when he said that. And it was like, wow, like the Lord's just touching me right now.
Right.
Like he's showing himself to me right now, like never before. And people were praying for me, dude. I was just getting set free, dude. And it was just crazy. And I remember that girl that I prayed for, she sent one of y'all to come get me. And I went to go talk to her, and she told me that when I prayed for her, that she got set free from that. And that she was, I'm like, dude, like, this is all like 30 minutes. And bro, my whole world is just rocked. Like, that was a life-changing experience that I will never forget. And the Lord's done things since then. He's shown me healing miracles where someone was going to die, but in miraculous, multiple times in different situations where he just healed people from where they should be dead and not able to come back and brought them back. He's set me free of things. He's healed me of things. He continues to teach me. He continues to do all these things in my life. But that moment where he showed me, what's the word I'm looking for? That he's that tangibly showed me angels and heavenly beings and how pure it is, changed my life. Can never forget it.
That's awesome.
And like when I went home, things that I would have fell into before going there, I did not. And I tell y'all, when I went home, y'all want to talk about persecuted and attacked by the enemy in any way he could? It was terrible. But the Lord has got me through it. He's healed me from a lot of things. But he is just so real. And he will reach you, dude. When you don't even know what you're looking for, he'll show you. And it's like, I'm so blessed to have all these experiences. I'm so blessed to have met him at such a young age. So I didn't fall into things like crazy partying and smoking weed and drinking and, like getting into vaping and all that kind of stuff that so many people struggle with. Like, he took me from that and he brought me to him at such a young age. And I'm so thankful. And that's why I'm so thankful for you for pushing me to go. Because if you would have just been like, he's not going to go and never asked me again, dude, I don't know where I'd be. I don't know if I would be alive. I don't know if I'd be strung out on some type of drug. But dude, like, he's just so good. So good in so many ways.
Yes. He's faithful.
Yeah.
Even when we're not, he's faithful, Well, I think that's it for tonight, guys. I know we're, over the 40-something minute mark. Man, I just, if I could say one thing to y'all watching is you have 3 men right here who started serving the Lord as boys. And it was because of the Lord calling them. The Spirit, draws people in. But it was because of the youth group. Because, y'all's parents didn't bring y'all, but because your parents brought you. Both of these guys, because of your family, both of these guys went to youth group. And now they're Christian believers, as men. And it's just important to get your kids involved in a youth group. Doesn't matter what church. Find a church. Find your home church, whatever.
Just get them in the presence.
Yes,
dude.
get them in the presence of God. And that's really what changes everything. So we love y'all. Y'all be blessed. I did the wrong thing. Hold up. Hey, there it is. Y'all be blessed.
We got to restart now. He messed it up.
We love y'all. Be blessed.
Later.